everyone, and welcome to a game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Bushwhacker 72, and he's in the Thunderer, a tier 10 British battleship. He's on the map Northern Lights in a 4-point domination game. So, obviously a tier 10 battle. There are a few tier 8s around. There's a tier 8 carrier, for example. There's only one destroyer, so that might make things interesting. Now, we're starting out with Bushwhacker here in a reasonable position and just shooting some high explosive at longer ranges, and that was a 12k salvo high explosive on a battleship. That's kind of disgusting, and he's setting a fire. But don't you worry, this is not a game with just long range high explosive spam. There will be lots of armor piercing coming. Now, of course, with only one destroyer, and that destroyer hasn't actually moved yet, that's a bit of a problem, because nobody here is going to take some caps. Now, we have a friendly booster here in a position to maybe counter a destroyer, but not too many ships that actually have shots inside the sea cap. Also, there was an enemy Alaska who just sailed broadside in front of the friendlies and, well, got wrecked. So, I mean, we are quite a, bit over 3 minutes into the game. The Shimmer still hasn't moved. I mean, there is still a chance that the Shimmer returns, and it's also the possibility that, and by the way, just another disgusting salvo against the Yamato. Let's hope that maybe he has internet troubles or PC issues or something that he can resolve and come back. Anyway, the enemy is taking the sea cap. It looks like the booster might just be too far away to radar there, because we have never gotten any info on whoever is capping. And it looks like the enemy is going towards the 9-10 line. Now, I don't like the 9-10 line on this map, because if you're in the 9-10 line, the only thing you can shoot is usually other ships in the 9-10 line, because those islands are just too massive. Now, there is some shenanigans you can get up to with this gap here. And sometimes you can try to help take this camp by, I guess, sneaking up here behind if you're in the right ship. But if the enemy is going to push through here, he might just be able to intercept. I mean, he could try to cap D here. There isn't that much opposition, but probably like a Donskoy or something would just keep interrupting him. And, you know, there isn't that big of a friendly force here. We will see what the other friendlies do. But now he's just moving to stop this push and maybe help out the friendly Buffalo here. Yeah, and the Shimakaze still hasn't moved, so I guess, despite all of my hopes, friendlies are playing this without the DD. Now, ship-wise, the teams are equal still. Well, I mean, not quite, because the Shima isn't here, I guess. But, you know, cap-wise, the enemy does have an advantage. And it just isn't real. Well, I guess the Smolensk is the sneakiest thing that they have, and he has smoke. But obviously he has to be afraid of radar. But, you know, we are, closer to an engagement here on this flank. And our Thunderer is rubbing against Richelieu a little bit. Hug there. Wishing each other luck before they... Okay, the Richelieu is already turning away. Now, I mean, I guess the Thunderer is also slightly turning away. Thunderer isn't the best brawlers. Like a Conqueror, you don't have the most hit points, you aren't the best armored, and another disgusting explosive cell. But now it's going towards armor piercing, because you know what? There's a juicy Cleveland there. And that Cleveland could just get utterly wrecked by armor piercing. And he disappeared. Isn't that like how it often happens? You just load the ammunition, and then they are... Oh, Cleveland's back. But Yamato's turning broadside-ish. Both juicy targets, and he has a choice to make going for the Cleveland. Now, taking out radar ships is always very important. Then again, if... Oh, wait, the Shimmer's moving. Okay, so Shimmer's back. No, we're close, though. So, a nice citadel on the Cleveland. And we will see. Now, meanwhile, there are a lot of friendlies coming towards this cap, and they might actually push into the enemy. By now has taken the cap. Then again, like, the enemy had a destroyer so far, and the friendlies didn't. I mean, the Shimakaze is moving, I'm just not entirely sure where he's moving right now. But you know, we will see. So down goes a Chambard, and next up we'll have a Yamato. There might still be a chance for, like, if that Cleveland goes through this gap, there might be some opportunities there to wreck a Cleveland. But, you know, broadside Yamato, armor piercing loaded, can't say no to that. And, well, I mean, reasonable salvo. A little bit disappointing. I mean, the Yamato started angling there in the end. But, you know, this might just come to a lovely sail by. Now, I mean, bow in against the Yamato. Oh, the Yamato just got overpens, it looks like. But the Yamato probably knows that he doesn't want to go into a sail by here. He can overmatch the bow, so as long as they are facing each other bow on, the Yamato is definitely has the advantage. And again, I mean, a Thunderer could go with its very nice high explosive, I suppose. But we are going to have a sail by. Armor piercing is loaded. He is waiting for his movement. Yamato guns are not even pointing this way, and we get 5 overpens and a pen. I think he could have aimed slightly lower, but that was also a bit unlucky there. Oh my, I had such hopes for this, and he did probably too. But hey, I mean, the Yamato couldn't retaliate, so everything is fine. And, well, we are going to vent our frustrations at a Cleveland. Now, there's still some opportunity for some Yamato broadside there, although I think the Yamato is turning right now. There's so much smoke that we can't even see the Yamato. And, well, yeah, okay, he's going for the superstructure, or maybe even the guns there instead. But the Yamato is dealt with, and the 9-10 line is now cleared, so he can continue his push. Now, while all of this happening, he has been pushing in, so he will be soon in a position to provide some, well, I'd say some flanking, but let's just face it, he might be the only one who can engage an enemy when he's there. Now you see, he went towards the 9-10 line, but he went here to stop the enemy's push and then push in return. The other ships here were a little bit, well, I guess too far behind for my like. But okay, I can understand the Buffalo, right? The Mogami is a bit too far behind, and I think the Richelieu should have kind of kept up with him there. But anyway. The friendlies are retaking a cap. The Shimakaze is, well, maybe he will see a cap one day. You know, the friendlies are one ship ahead, it's just that the points are not really in their favor right now. But if they can flip the decap, might not look too bad. Now, Bushwhacker has to be careful here, because he might just be the only one engaging basically the entire enemy team, and that's not really a position you want to be in, so he can't just keep charging in, especially in the Thunderer. But what he can do is get a nice, lovely salvo against the North Cal there. And it's back also to armor piercing. So he had high explosive loaded, but he sees that juicy broadside potential. So armor piercing it is. Now there is a Montana coming this way to intercept him, and that Montana looks awfully healthy. And North Carolina on the other hand looks like he's going down soon. And there you go, he's probably also getting thumped by a rooster. Shimakaze is torping there. And down he goes. So, yeah. Now on the bright side, he is a little bit broadside-ish here, but I think he wants to use this island as some cover and then maybe to turn around and turn away again. Reasonable salvo. And the Montana is shooting high explosive for some reason. Maybe he's confused at what ship he's in. I mean, okay, like, against an angled battleship, high explosive isn't the worst choice. Well, I think the Montana would have been better off there with armor piercing. And the Richelieu is coming this way, but it still takes him some time, because he was a bit further in the back there. And, well, the enemy is now kind of just blobbing there. Oh, we have a... I mean, those turrets are not like in the default position, right?
We destroyed
So
cruiser.
this Dawn Squad looked sort of AFK, but if a ship is... if you are disconnected, the turrets should be in the default position, right? So front turrets pointing forward and the back turrets pointing backwards. So not sure. But it's one less Dawn Squad. Now we got broadside Montana, and here goes a high caliber and another Citadel. And well, the carrier is getting enough fun.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
But you know, anti-air is going, defensive fire is running, and well, he's still getting torped by the carrier. But it could be worse, I suppose. Now the friendlies are slowly pulling this back ship, but still behind on points. And yeah, he's dodging. Oh. For a second there I thought he might be able to dodge, but unfortunately just slightly too thick there. So yeah, the enemy team just kind of melted there recently. Next up we might just have a Montana coming around with a little bit more broadside, cause yes, he hasn't been Citadel in a while. And there you go, 2 more Citadels, 1 less Montana. Now obviously the carrier has found himself a lone battleship and is trying to take advantage of that. But the friendly team really needs to start sinking, the enemy team really needs to start sinking a few ships there if they want to come back. Now the enemy destroyer is gone, friendly Smolensk there is gone. And that Des Moines just got himself Citadel. We are already at over 300,000 points of damage, and this Des Moines just awfully looks like it might help unleash a Kraken. So shells are out, Des Moines in concealment, but that's not very helpful. Because the shells are still in the air. And okay, he missed.
Much obliged.
Too bad. So the carrier is coming from over there. Friendly carrier dropping a fighter plane, and he's even saying thank you. Because that might just be very helpful in avoid... Oh, speaking of the Lexington, hello there.
All stations. Position of a strategic target.
So, carrier is trying to run away, got some decent hits there, I suppose. Des Moines is spotted again, so he could try finishing off the Des Moines. There is certainly...
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, there was certainly an argument to be made to finish off the Des Moines, but I guess he's found the carrier and he doesn't like the carrier, which is kind of understandable. And that's a pretty juicy salvo there.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
Meanwhile, friend is still 2 ships ahead, but kind of a little bit behind on points, just because they had less caps for so long. So, well, I mean, there is still some potential for the enemy, I suppose. And especially like if the carrier manages to get into concealment and escape again, you know. I mean, the carrier might be low right now, but if he isn't getting spotted again, that might just not matter. I mean, a friendly carrier could try to go after the Lexington. They could at least spot him again. Oh, the carrier is spotted anyway.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal.
And the Des Moines meanwhile has been taken out. The enemy SAO is getting harassed by planes. And it looks like the Buffalo is just going for C. Shimakaze might just be going for B, and then that's basically it. Especially because the carrier, it doesn't look like that carrier is going to escape. They're probably the last planes the carrier ever launches. Although they might just be enough to sink our Thunderer. And there you go, the Kraken's unleashed, the Lexington is down, and he's at 368,000 points of damage. Not too bad, not too bad. Although, you see, not a lot of potential damage there. Considering that he went through all of his heals and is on low health. The Thunderer just isn't really the best tank there, but rather decent guns, I'd say. And well, there is a fire. He is low on health, his damage con is still on cooldown, but I mean the damage con should be ready again soon, and there is only a Sao left. I mean, if he gets taken down here, it won't matter, this will still be a win. I don't think there is a chance for this Sao to actually win this. So shells are out, he got an overpen there. Now it looks like the Sao will disappear behind this island. Will he? It's actually slowing down. Well, he's got another salvo in the air. Well, I guess the Sao did slow down to dodge a torp, which is rather nice, because that means another citadel. Here we are with the results. Bushbucker earned himself 3,200 base experience in a very nicely played game. He achieved a Confederate devastating strike at Dreadnought the Kraken in the high caliber, scoring 372,000 points of damage. And yeah, he heavily used armor piercing, and it was a good choice because he citadeled the crap out of few enemies there. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys next time.